Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Rich Channels podcast, brought to you by AS International. My name is Raphael,
My name's Jeremy.
and today we're going to talk about.
TikTok. Is it friend or foe? And how can we utilize it? And what's your overall opinion on it?
So, me personally, I'm like an everything but TikTok kind of guy. I love Instagram. Probably spend way too much time on it than I should. YouTube Shorts. YouTube is the wave. Also, um, Facebook even. Nah,
Are you
Facebook.
like 40, bro?
Nah. Just Instagram and YouTube mostly. But what about you?
I'm not gonna lie. TikTok kind of got me in a chokehold. Just like it's so easy to get stuck on it for hours and just be like, oh, I wasted half my day just scrolling, just doom scrolling. I mean, Instagram's the same way, but it's just not as funny as TikTok.
Because I think TikTok has like a different algorithm to it that
It-
makes it
yeah.
so like too relatable. Like it's a little scary.
And also, too, like TikTok comparatively to like YouTube, because YouTube's algorithm, I mean, the people get exposed way faster on TikTok and blow up faster, like overnight sensations, compared to like YouTube. We actually have to put in, I feel like, more effort. But like, I saw something that said TikTok rewards people who put less effort into their videos, just because like it's more marketable as like the everyday person. So people are just like, oh, this person's just like me. So when brands can get more attached to that person, opposed to like somebody with whole studio lights and setup, where it looks like a professional movie. Like it looks like damn near a mini movie. Like I use like a freshly done YouTube video.
But I think there's still space in like the world for there to be both. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I like watching my super cinematic YouTube videos sometimes.
Yeah,
And then other days it's like, you just want to get like find like a little clip of video that's like super relatable, like on TikTok or whatever. Because I don't know, like I find TikTok to be hilarious, but that's like why it's so dangerous because
yeah.
you start scrolling, then it's like these things like start to sound like you, and you're like, wow, this person like, why is he going through the same exact thing as I am? Like, why is he still doing? It's too close to home, but
Yeah, I be seeing like videos, and it's like things local to me, and then people in the comments are feeling the same way. They're like, "Oh, my for you page getting too local now," because it'd be like, "Oh, places and such," and I'll be like, "That's where I live." Like,
no,
I'm
for
like, what the
real.
hell? Like, it's kind of creepy, or it's just like you see certain things, or it's just like, but I feel like this is across the whole social media where you say things. It's just like, oh, I was just thinking that, or I was just talking about that the other day. I feel like that's really creepy as shit. But
You don't know about that?
why they track you?
How your phone
Yeah,
listens to you.
I
I don't
do.
know if you guys heard about that,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna say no names. Apple. Uh, devices have been listening to us like all this time, and I think people have been like doing lawsuits for it or whatever. But that's insane, and that's probably why your for you page knows exactly who you are, what you like to listen to, what you like to shop for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know TikTok Shop has been taking a lot of your money.
And only not only for one thing, basketball shorts, but the quality of those, or not basketball shorts, workout shorts. I'm sorry, but the quality of those was so like buns, like
It was bad.
it was horrible. Like it's basically like it was like worse quality than swim trunks. I mean, there's good quality swim trunks, but it was like the same fabric as like a swim trunk.
Yeah.
But like it was like it washed and there'd be holes in my pockets.
Wow.
It was so bad.
Oh,
So
man.
if you're looking to buy stuff, don't go on your TikTok shop. I know it looks tempting because of the price, but best believe it's worth that $7 for some pants. Because it probably took like 2 cents to make that.
At most.
Yeah.
At most.
But that's where we get into the topic of how the TikTok ban was affecting millions of people who were making profits, such as small businesses making money off of it, just promoting their business, and then other people profiting off the shop.
Yeah.
Because people got, I forgot what the percentage of commission was. Actually, let me just check that real quick. But what's your take on that?
I mean, I think it's like, I wouldn't say like it's foolish is a very strong word. I think it's super smart to utilize TikTok to promote your business and stuff, but I also know that you should never put all of your eggs in one basket, as in only using TikTok to promote your business. Because just like how we had a TikTok ban for about a couple hours,
Yeah.
everyone like really lost their minds and brains or whatever. Um, that could definitely derail your whole business. and your lack of second income, third income, first income, it definitely did scare a lot of people who kind of had their whole livelihood based off of promoting off of TikTok. What do you feel about
Also,
that?
before I get to that point, I just want to say that if you're selling on TikTok Shop, according to Google, which I don't know how accurate this is true, it says between 5 and 8%. But like, let's say you get 100,000 people to click on the TikTok Shop, depending
Yeah,
how valuable it is. That's $5,000.
that's a lot of money.
You know what I'm saying? Or that's $8,000 depending on the percent range you get. But out of 100,000 people, and then go, to let's say 1 million people, you can do the math. Like, that's a big commission that you're just losing out on because of the ban. I'd be pretty pissed if that was me.
No, I know.
And I saw the about a joke say like, oh, it said TikTok users when they realized they had to get a real 9 to 5, or they have to work at McDonald's. Nothing wrong with working at McDonald's if you have a 9 to 5.
No, at all. Because like, listen, I know you guys are eating like pretty well. Those nuggets, I like them. I know a lot of people disagree, but I like my little McNugget or whatever. But yeah, no, that really is crazy though. Like a lot of people could lose like money just like that. And I feel like with our generation, like we're Gen Z, then what's the generation after us?
Alpha.
Alpha.
Oh yeah, they cut.
So
the brain rot, insane.
So I feel like
They're
Gen Z in particular, because I'm a Gen Z person, he's Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are trying to find alternative ways to make money, whether that is record yourself by blogging, posting fitness content, posting your cooking content. Like there's a lot of things that you can do to just like record yourself, because everyone likes to be engaged on their phones and scrolling through social media. So it's like, why can't you be someone who profits off of your everyday life? So I think like a lot of Gen Z and Alpha are already trying to do that stuff and kind of just live freely how they want, as opposed to working a straight 9 to 5. And I see why. Like it gives them freedom. They can travel whenever they want for the most part. Get sponsorships. Like it's a really cool lifestyle, but it also is a lot.
I mean, it is a lot to manage. Like, I mean, basically running your own business essentially, just like anything. It's almost like it's just like YouTube. How you put ads on it, even though YouTube is going downhill since I would say 2016 would probably make the most amount of money on it. But that's a different conversation for another time. But I would say this, like Ref said, it is a fulfilling feeling making your own profit, especially at such a young age. Like, if I was making 6 figures just doing TikTok all day, like I'd be on cloud 9.
Yeah, exactly.
And to have that just ripped away from me because government policies. And about that, is the leader or the founder and owner of TikTok even Chinese? Because I seen something saying he's Singaporean.
He's Singaporean. Listen, I didn't even look into that, so I have no idea. But I did hear about like that conspiracy about how he's not even like Chinese and Singaporean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Like, because if he's really Singaporean and they're saying that it's a matter of national concept because of CCP and spread of communism, that's kind of racist. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of crazy,
It definitely is, but I don't know.
And then even still, this might be this is probably another topic for another convo, but I just want to slide in there. Facebook does the same thing with taking your information.
Oh yeah, no, like listen. Ever since my parents let me get an email account as a kid, they were like, listen, with power comes great responsibility. Like that email, what is it? The email, like when you set up your email account, when you're super young and you could start doing like all this other stuff or whatever, from that day, the web knows like a lot about you, your birthday. Like I remember filling out like my email account. Mm-hmm. I would like literally put like the wrong birthday. I'll say like I was like 26.
I mean, I feel like
like 12.
I feel like every kid did that.
No, exactly. But I had so many of them, but it's just like at one point.
How does it feel actually putting your actual age and be like, wow, I'm over 21. Like,
like
I can't fit. There's no reason to fake it no more.
It's crazy. We're talking about that. Whatever. Because I'm 22, right?
I see a couple grades on there.
I have a couple grades. Like, it runs in my family. Don't blame me. If you squint real hard, but Yeah, no, like we're already close to 30.
I wouldn't say we pushing 30.
No,
But,
no, like on like listen. How fast 2024 went, we're pushing 30, man.
well, how you feel that we're pushing 30 and we're talking about TikTok? So
And we're talking about we're still Gen Z, we're still be on TikTok. Our generation, I don't care how old we get, we're still gonna be on TikTok.
of course, I mean, if TikTok's still a thing, there might be something new that comes out that's
No,
even more short form, more brain rot activity, and even dumber than TikTok.
tell me about that though. So how do you feel that like our attention span has like diminished that much since like these forms of short content got so popular?
I feel like it's really bad. Like it's really bad. Like I know some people. Like my brother's a teacher, and he says like all the kids were so devastated when TikTok went out. But then he says like these kids can't learn for anything. And I feel like sometimes I feel with that. Like when I was really on TikTok, especially during COVID, I feel like I was like so brain rotted and so just short form, short form, short form. So when I tried to like, I had to what's the word? Detox, yeah, detox my brain from that kind of content, especially because a lot of negativity is going around that time, just in the world and the country.
Yeah.
Like it was just like wow. I actually tried to read a book and I kind of found it like hard to be like oh, like my brain keeps wandering off after reading like 5-10 pages, and I was like well why is this happening? And it took me like a couple of weeks to just deconstruct my brain to where I can actually like digest information and not look for instant gratification.
That's another thing because I noticed that like I wasn't able to focus on anything when I used to love the movie theaters. Back when Cars came out, I don't even know what year it came out. Or Speed Racer even because
that was a classic. I think that was 2009 and Cars was either 2005 or 2007.
Years ago, whatever. I remember like my family like went to the movie theater and I used to like watch the movie to the beginning all the way throughout, whatever. And then like nowadays, like when I go to the movie theater, like once in a blue moon, you find yourself checking your phone, kind of attached, like being like, "Oh, I wonder who just hit me up," or whatever. Because like, even if you have your phone on silent, vibrate, whatever, um, you're still always gonna want to check your phone and just be on it just to get some sort of dopamine rush. Like that's what it is. That's what the bottom line is. I think all of us are just searching for that dopamine rush that it gets from getting validation from other people, like whether it is you posted a picture and they're liking your content or just like seeing what's happening in the group chat. It's just we just so infatuated with our phones.
Yeah, I feel the same way honestly. Like as soon as you hear that ding or you feel that vibration, you're automatically like, oh, let me check my phone. Oh, let me check my phone. And it's kind of like, it's this. I don't want to butcher the name, but there's this famous scientist. Um, I really don't want to butcher the name one day, but the whole sum of it, the crux of his experiment was when the dog would hear a ring, he would either have food or no food. It was something like that. Like it was basically like he would train his dog to basically eat when he heard the sound. Yeah. So it's almost like us being trained to go on our phones when we feel the ding, or we hear the ding, or we feel the ring from the vibration. So it's kind of crazy. I feel it's the same way with TikTok, where like it's training us to only consume minuscule like 15 seconds, 30 seconds of content and not be able to really read, like pay attention to what we're reading in front of us. Either whether that be for, let's say, high case scenario, that it is a matter of making Americans dumber due to, overstimulation or external factors such as countries trying to attack us, allegedly. I don't know how true that is. I'm just saying as a theory. Or maybe that just be because of our own bias and just wanting to be overstimulated and having that instant gratification, like, oh, I get to enjoy this in 15, 30 seconds without really earning it, But what's your, what do you think?
I think it's definitely to our detriment. Like as cool as what, it's an argument for both sides because honestly, social media and like this short form of content, especially talking about today for TikTok, it's super important in our lives or a lot of people's lives because they're chasing the fame, the money, extra source of income. So a lot of people, it's their livelihood, right? You could make money off of that. You could pay rent. You could pay your car note. You can send your kids to school with this TikTok money. Like I don't know if you've seen any of these families who have family TikToks. They post their kids, get ready with me for school. taking Aiden, like Lila, to
Yeah.
daycare
Question:
or whatever.
You ever seen the Costco guys?
The Costco. I feel like I had to see them, but I can't remember like off the top of my head.
They're like, oh, it's like it's that one dad and the son, and their eyes are always like bulging, and they're always just like, oh, we're getting the double chocolate chip cookie from Costco's.
Oh, is it the father and son?
Yeah, exactly.
Father and
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
Yes, I've seen that. That's funny. That's wholesome concept though. Like,
Yeah.
anybody go,
I know this is off topic, but you ever seen a video where somebody on a live was just like, "Oh, my mom just died," and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry to hear that. You get 5 big booms, boom." Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, just like when I see stuff like that, I'm like, maybe TikTok should have got banned. So
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's
Crazy.
That's insane. I don't know what kind of content you be watching, but that sounds funny. But okay. On the flip side though, like I talked about the positives, how people can make a livelihood with TikTok.
Yeah.
But again, I'm talking about attention span, people being able to learn in school, and just not being able to focus on anything that's truly like important. Like, 2025, New Year's happens, right?
Yeah.
Years ago, everyone, like let's say early 2000s, everyone is just outside in the open enjoying life in the present, in the flesh. Like they're not worried about their phones. Only a few of them got like real cameras.
Yeah.
But most of the time, or not most of the time, just back then, they would all be just enjoying each other's company, living in the present and not worried about anything. But you see 2025 rolls up, if you see a picture of New York City, I saw a crazy graphic. It was a picture of the ball batter drop, maybe like with 10 seconds left, and everyone in New York City had their camera out because they want to like, post it on social media, get like, oh my gosh, you were in New York City, this, that, and the third, and just like seek for that validation or just like record the moment as opposed to living in the present.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think for things like that, that's kind of what makes people a little less content with their lives. They're always comparing and being like, "Oh, I want to do the coolest thing. I want to post the coolest content." And it's always like a comparison game.
Yeah.
Trying to beat someone else in their own game, maybe. Making your life look better than theirs. So I think for like that reason alone, social media and these short forms of content, all this other stuff is like pretty bad for our livelihood and mental health.
I was just about to say, having the notes here, how it relates to mental health, just to wrap into what you're saying and tie into it. I believe that that is a big issue that people are comparing themselves and not they are living a moment. I mean, you see, you go to certain places, all you see is people with their phones. It's just like, yeah, I want to capture a moment too, but like, be in the moment to capture, like, you know. And also too, like when you're constantly comparing yourself to I see like 17, 18, 19 year olds with like G wagons and buying penthouses in Miami. I'm just like, how is that even possible? And they're like, oh yeah, like we can do this, you can too. But people ignore like the stipulation that they had, like maybe they're a trust fund kid or maybe they just got lucky and stuff like that. Because that's not the norm. Most people aren't living like that. Most people are living, paycheck to paycheck, or living with their families, or struggling. So I feel like it really just hyperinflates our sense of self to be like, wow, I need to do that within like a certain time period. But most people get rich like later on in life. Like it's not like it shouldn't happen too fast, and that's what's happening with social media and all these platforms. I'm not saying it's not a good thing that people are finding ways to have money, but I feel like it kind of makes people feel like they're losing out on a lot of things and just makes people feel worse about themselves. What do you think about that?
Listen, everything you just said is so real. I don't think a lot of people understand how. I'm not saying that it's not obtainable because we would be lying if we would say that like, okay, like I still have goals and I want to maybe one day own a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
This, that, and the third. I mean, like, who doesn't? Like, what young man does not want to drive in their dream car? What kind of man does not want to have a big home or something like that? Be able to provide for your family in the future. But it's like you gotta understand. You gotta like literally run your own race and don't compare yourself to other people because that's only gonna make you less well off. It's gonna hurt you mentally. you're gonna feel like you're not good enough, and always comparing yourself to others is always gonna bring you down. So people just gotta understand, like literally, just run your own race. Like, um, there was some diagram of it was a ball that I believe was rolling down like a slope,
Yeah.
and it was only going straight like this, maybe just constant going straight down, whatever. It was like a race, and then there was a ball going down an incline. It kind of looked like a roller coaster. It was like flowing like this, and yeah, I think in the end, the ball that had like the crazy path, like with all the ups and downs, which kind of simulates life, won the race in the end. You know what I mean? As opposed to just being constantly going down or whatever. Um, I definitely said that diagram thing wrong, but it was something of that sort. It's like I hope you guys could pick up what I'm putting down, but you just got to understand that like every single person's path will be different. So comparing yourself and just being like, oh, like success must be like always constantly doing better. You're gonna have your setbacks. You're gonna take one step back, two steps forward, God willing. But you know, I think a lot of people just got to understand that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, people. Yeah, like you said, people don't understand that life's just not a straight path, and like there's gonna be ups and downs, and there's there's a certain meme. You ever see that one meme where the dude is like digging, and it's like, oh, like one of them still digging, and he's like about to hit strike gold, and the other one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm about to find that.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like even though it's a meme, there's some truth to it. Like I feel like that's what happens with a lot of people. Like somebody might be on TikTok all day promoting their business, their brand, or trying to start something off TikTok, whether it be just their own like funny short form content or like podcast or clips or like anything along those lines, and they might see somebody, they might not have the success of somebody who's been doing it for a shorter time, but maybe it's just maybe also too there's something that they're doing wrong, or they're trying to target an audience that's just not in that realm that they're trying to do, and maybe they should go somewhere else. I feel like that happens with a lot of people where they try to go a certain way, but then they're kind of blind to it just because they're the ones like leading the herd, and not the ones kind of looking back and like, oh yeah, that's why you're wrong, because that's like saying you're trying to be a carpenter, but your main skills are plumbing.
Yes.
It's like, why are you trying to be a carpenter? You should be doing plumbing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to win like a street race, but you're in a truck, opposed to like
Wait, no, let me stop, because you have these analogies are killing me so. I'm sorry, no, like I understand what you're saying. You're just a funny guy, man. Yo, but like I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And I'm picking down what you're putting up.
Yeah, what you said. Anyways, guys, this whole topic was about TikTok. What else you want to add?
This whole topic about TikTok and what you guys should know if you ever decide to get back on it. If there's any, if you guys are continuing to get on it, or you guys want to get on it, despite the looming threat of it being banned in the United States, if you guys are U.S. based, I think you guys should take a step back and realize like, oh, this might not be a forever thing. So you guys should probably branch out to other social medias such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and just try to see if you guys can grow their platforms there, and just trying to have a base for everything, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to be ensured that if something were to happen, then you can be like, oh, okay, I can't promote my business here, but I have established my business on these websites, and I can keep marketing myself here. So all my traction that has been built from say TikTok is gone, and I have to start from square one, and I'm losing all my customer base just because I didn't decide to diversify. Decide to diversify. I don't know why that was so.
Say that 5 times fast.
Decide to diversify. Yeah, I can't do that.
But I would like to piggyback off what you said. I think it's super important to differentiate your arsenal of websites and platforms that you're using to promote yourself, your brand, looking for entertainment as well. I think it's super important to find what works for you. Study it, use it, learn it, but just don't cut yourself short by only using that. Like, differentiate your palette, right? try something new, and I think that will give you the insurance that you need to make sure that you're able to, still make a profit if anything goes bad. But um, yeah, he said everything best.
Appreciate
Um,
that.
yeah, so yeah,
For closing, I would say this has been the Risk Trainer podcast. My name is Jeremy.
and my name is Raphael, and you guys can find us. We're gonna post weekly. Bear with us because we are just starting back up, so stay tuned. Yeah,
Stay tuned. More to come soon. Catch you later.
all right, peace.